edition video for Z Budapest's October edition of her Goddess magazine. I've got the link posted on the sidebar, so be sure and check it out. Today we're going to be making sugar skulls. The items that you're going to need are a large plastic bag, clear plastic wrap, a large container for the sugar skulls, 4 to 5 cups of powdered sugar, 3 tablespoons of egg whites or 1 whole egg white, 1 tablespoon of corn syrup, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, cornstarch, and food coloring along with a small paintbrush. So we're going to take the 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, one tablespoon of corn syrup, 1 egg white or 3 tablespoons of egg white. Now I've tried to make this without the egg white and they did not turn out. Be sure that you mix this up very well so that the corn syrup is all incorporated with the egg white and the vanilla. Next, you're going to want to add the powdered sugar. Now this takes quite a bit of powdered sugar, so go ahead and dump about 1 cup to 2 cups at a time, and make sure that you incorporate it very, very well. And you're going to want to mix it until it starts to form a stiff dough-like consistency. And it takes quite a while to mix up the dough. Okay, once it starts to form a ball like you see here, add a little bit more of the powdered sugar and keep mixing it, and it's going to get very, very stiff. But keep mixing it. And keep stirring it until it's not visibly moist or visibly shiny. Okay, once it looks dull like this, then you take it out of the bowl and put some powdered sugar on the table or on a board and start kneading it. And keep kneading it until it gets smooth in consistency. Now this takes a lot of kneading and a lot of powdered sugar. So have a little bit of patience when you're making this. And try not to make this on really humid days, because the more humid it is, the more time it's going to take and the more powdered sugar it's going to take as well. Okay, so once it's very smooth and dry, which means it's not real sticky when you're holding it. This is a little test. Make it into a ball and hold it in your hand and see how quickly it starts to fall. If it falls too quickly or falls too much, then you know that you need to add more powdered sugar, because this needs to be a very firm, very stiff dough. So keep adding more powdered sugar until it gets very smooth and firm. Once you get the dough to a smooth, firm consistency, then take the bag and fill it with about 1/2 cup to 1 cup of cornstarch. Just enough to put about 1 inch of it in the bottom. Now, you take a pinch of the dough, however big you want your sugar skulls to be, and make a ball. And this is going to be the start of the sugar skull form. And then you want to take this and put it in the bag and get it covered with cornstarch so that it won't stick to the container. And then you want to shake it off with your hand and place it in the large container that we have sitting out. Keep doing this until you get all the dough used. So that's the process that you go through for making all the sugar skulls. Now one word, if you want to make colored sugar skulls, you can use the food coloring and actually put it in the liquid portion of the dough as you're making it. If you want your whole batch to be blue or purple or green or yellow, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, you can make individually colored sugar skulls, and I'm going to show you real quick how to do that. You take about the same amount that you had for the first one, and you put 1 drop of food coloring in the dough, and then you mix it together. Now this is kind of a messy process. Now, because of the extra liquid, you may need to add a little bit more powdered sugar as you're mixing it. And this gives such a cool technique. I just absolutely love this. Now this one actually needs just a little bit more powdered sugar. So I'm going to use the powdered sugar that I still have on my counter and mix it together real nicely. And just keep mixing it and then form it into a ball the same way that you did with the other ones. Cover it with the cornstarch. Now, once you've got your entire pan filled, take plastic wrap and tightly cover the container and put it in the refrigerator overnight. Okay, once these have refrigerated overnight, they're going to be firm enough to work with. So, what you do is take them out and warm it in your hand for about 5 to 10 seconds. When they first come out, they're going to be very, very hard, and if you try to mold them without first warming them up just slightly, they may crack. Now the tools that you can use are chopsticks, an orange peeler, you can even use a toothpick. Now, once the dough is pliable enough to make it into a skull, go ahead and start forming it into a skull, and then you can make 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth fairly easily. So once you're done forming it, you can put it on a plate and let it dry overnight. Then after it's dried, it will be fairly hard. So then you get a tray and put food coloring in it so that you can decorate it. And then you want to take your paintbrush and dip it in the coloring and start painting. And this is where people can get so creative with their sugar skulls. There's a little face. And then I'll put a little design on top. Woo! Now, here are a few pictures of some that I've done previously. Another way that you can shape your sugar skulls is in a mold such as this. Now, one website that I highly recommend that you go to is MexicanSugarSkull.com. Now, this company has been around for a very long time, and actually, they've been featured on National Geographic, so it's a very, very reputable company. They have everything from molds to pre-made mixes to ready-made skulls that are ready to ship to you. So I highly recommend that website, MexicanSugarSkull.com. Well, I hope you have enjoyed learning how to make sugar skulls, and blessed be. Goddess bless.